Question 16. Write down 3 integers all less than 25 whose range is 8 and mean is 13. This is 2 marks now. So the range and the mean, we're talking about averages. So we remember how to do averages by remembering the song, which goes like this. Hey diddle diddle, the median's the middle. You add, then divide for the mean. The mode is the one that you see the most, and the range is the difference between. So the median, you have to put them in ascending order first, which is the smallest to the biggest number. And then for the mean, you have to add, then divide. So you add all the numbers up and then divide that answer by however many numbers there are in total. And then the mode is the one that comes up the most often, and the range is the difference between. So it's the biggest number take away the smallest number. So this is actually giving you the averages but asking you to find the missing numbers, which has been really, really popular over the last few exams. So the best way to start is we need numbers that are all less than 25, and integers basically means whole numbers. So the best way to start is the mean is 13. So if you've got 3 numbers that you don't know what they are, we need to know what the total of those numbers are. So when we're working out the mean, it's the total divided by total amount of numbers, and that equals the mean. So I'm just going to put in what I do know from this question now. So I don't know the total yet, because I don't know what the numbers are. I do know the total amount of numbers, 1, 2, 3, because it says in the question, write down 3 numbers. So the total amount of numbers I have to write down would be 3. And then that would equal the mean, and it tells me that the mean has to be 13. So now I've come up with a sum to help me find the total amount that these numbers should add up to. So if I need to find this missing gap, instead of doing something divided by 3, I'm going to do the inverse operations. I'm going to times by 3. So the something would be 13 times 3. You do have your calculator if you want to use it for that. I'm just going to say, well, 3 times 10 is 30. 3 times 3 is 9, add them together would be 39. So the total of all of the numbers added up would be 39. So once I've got that, that will then help me work out the rest of the averages. So I need to choose numbers now that are all less than 25, and now their range must be 8. So the biggest number, take away the smallest number, must be 8. So that means that the number here must be in the middle. So we've got a few different options we could have. So if we try, they can't be too big, they can't be very close to 39 because we've got 3 of them. That means we would have 3 numbers very close to 39, whereas they all have to add up to that. So if we have numbers, say around 10, if I add them up together, then they would be closer to 39. So if we tried 10 as the smallest number, to have a range of 8, I'd have to have 8 more here. So that would be 18, because the biggest number, 18, take away 10, would be 8. So now so far I've got a total of 28. So for that middle number to be correct, it needs to be bigger than 10, but smaller than 18. It needs to make all 3 of them add up to 39. So I've got 28 so far. 39, take away 28, leaves me with 11. And that is actually bigger than 10 and smaller than 18. So that works perfectly. So I'm just going to check my answers now. I've got 3 numbers smaller than 25. Yeah, I've got a range of a range of 8. So the biggest number, 18, take away 10 is 8. I've met that condition, and a mean of 13. So if I add them all up, 10, 21, 31 and 8 is 39, and then divide by however many there are. 39 divided by 3 is 13. So I've met all three conditions with those numbers, so that would give me a full 2 marks. There are other numbers you could have used as well. So if the best way to look at this is if I drop this 10 by 1 to make my smallest number 9, then there must be a range of 8, so my biggest number would be 17. And then I need the number in the middle to be bigger than 9 but smaller than 17, and all of them need to add up to 39. So if I add them up first, 17 and 9 is 25, and then to make that up to 39 then I've got 14 left over, and 14 is bigger than 9 but smaller than 17. Oh, sorry, it's not 14. 9 and 17 is 26. So the difference between 26 and 39 is 13. So those three numbers will also get you 2 marks, because we have all numbers under 25, so that would be done, that condition would be met. 17 take away 9 is 8, that would be met. And if I add them all up, it gives me 39, divided by 3, giving me a mean of 13. The other set you could have would be, again, I could drop this by 1, 8, 8 and the range of 8, so that would make this number 16. And then again, the middle number has to be between 8 and 16. So adding them up, 8 and 16 is 24, and the difference between 24 and 39 is 15, and 15 is bigger than 8 and smaller than 16, so that would work fine. So this is the last option you could have for the 2 marks. If you didn't quite make the 2 marks, then the examiner will give you 1 mark if you have either of these, if your numbers have a range of 8 or they have a excuse me, mean of 13, which means they would total 29. Total of 39, or 1 mark for a range of 8. To get that 1 mark, if you had this, then you would have to have all of your numbers under 25, and to get that 1 mark you would have to have all of your numbers under 25.